so much profound healing going on. It's pretty intense. I have some obsidian on my womb right now, and I'm just clearing it out, but I've learned a lot about trusting your intuition, especially if somebody's saying something to you and it doesn't make you feel good. Then you got to spend less and less and less time being around people that try to make you feel bad about yourself. Spend more time with like-minded females who are all about empowering the world and each woman to be the best she can be and not be held down by mean guys and stupid laws and everything else that doesn't seem to look into females' needs very much. I think we're just about done tolerating that shit. Change is coming. Full moon in Gemini right now. Time to clear the shit out. Recognize old wounds that may cause you to repeat patterns and get it out. I took some notes on one of my, what do I call it? Not a seminar, but like a teaching thing. There are different ways you can be blocked in the heart, which will cause you to keep attracting in the wrong lover. And basically, you need to understand subconscious thinking. That means your brain is basically on autopilot most of the time. 95% of the time, you are doing subconscious thinking. And that's kind of how the very first time you drive somewhere, you don't really know where you're going. But after you've been there a few times, you can get there without really having to think about it. That's because eventually what you are being exposed to is taking place in your subconscious. So this is huge. Just that knowledge is huge alone. That's why affirmations feel really silly at first, but it is absolutely profound what rewiring your brain can actually do. Like, I have just started the tip of the iceberg with this healing, literally. You just feel like you know so much more. Like, just remember that. What's being played in your subconscious? So think about that. That was definitely something I felt I should write down. Because if you have something playing in your subconscious saying, oh, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you know, what you have experienced too that hasn't been very pleasant. If you've experienced things like time after time, you're going to keep focusing on those feelings, and that's what's going to always be attracted to you. So with that in mind, there is 4 different major blocks. Like, there's of course tons, but here's the major ones. A massive childhood heartbreak between the ages of 2 and 7 years old. That would be your inner child. Teen heartbreak. Religious heartbreak and grief. Dealing with any of that is going to set you up with patterns. So basically, if your subconscious is, it's just going to keep cycling the pain. It's just going to keep cycling it. If when you're a young child, you're going to equate home with love, and home is where the heart is. But if your home is love with yelling, or your home is love with a distant father, or your home is love with a domineering mom, certain things you can keep attracting from that. Like, for example, if your home was with a distant father, you may tend to attract a man that runs away from you. And there was like examples for other stuff too under that. So I'm definitely going to listen to that again. Usually when I pull up these videos or purchase content, I tend to listen to something at least 2 or 3 times throughout, cycles. So that's always a good idea too. And let's see. Yeah, same thing with like if you're repeating patterns, if people were yelling a lot, then that might be what's going on too. So kind of like I realized I needed to put Christmas decorations up, but you can't put Christmas decorations up over Halloween decorations. I had to get the Halloween decorations all taken down so that I could put the Christmas ones in their place. Kind of like clearing like that. If you don't clear out these old wounds and old traumas that you might not even think about, like you may not think anything was a big deal and it's not in your brain and it doesn't, like, you don't think it's doing anything, but clearly it's there in your subconscious. So your subconscious is going to keep replaying that. You have to get it out. Like, get the Halloween decorations out of there. Then you can put Christmas. So get all your negative, bad, traumatic, sad, heartbreaking experiences out of your physical body where they're stored most of the time in the womb if you're a female. Okay. I just had some, like, I've had, like about 4 solid hours of some intense healing and clearing, and I'm not done. I'm kind of like on a binge right now for the full moon. It's incredible how much better you can feel. So, back to where I mentioned the affirmations. You may think it's silly, and I play these in my sleep too. And the one guy I play, it's like, it almost makes me actually laugh. So that's why I play it, because he literally whispers. And like, he doesn't do it like all, like, he'll change it up. Like, it's not every 1 second. It'll be like out of nowhere. And then I'll like kind of wake up and roll over, and then I hear him and I'm like, well, this is kind of funny. It's just hilarious because you're like sleeping, but your subconscious does this all for you. So just start playing nicer things. Like this one, he'll say, I love myself. That's the one that makes me laugh. Like, because he just whispers this shit. Like, and that's just all he says for like 3 hours. And I fucking shit you not. Like, oh my God. And I had, I wasn't listening to this every night, but maybe when I could figure it out, like every maybe 3 or 4 nights, I'd be like, okay, let me put this one on. And like, I swear, I was just washing dishes, and this fucking guy's whispering voice pops into my head. So, like, that was proof that it worked. So then I was laughing. I was like, oh, I was just kind of smiling to myself, like, I love myself. I mean, it's just, like, for a good thought to pop into your head, like, it's good. And then you can try, like, when I first got into all this self-healing stuff, it was basically me trying to notice, did a bad thought come into my head? And if it did, counteract that. Like, oh my God, or whatever. Like, oh my God, I gotta wake up and wash all these dishes in the sink. And I'd be like, oh, I'm so thankful that I have so many cute kids that love to eat my food here at home, and it's only going to take me a half hour to do this. This is not a big deal. Like, my hands will feel warm when I wash them, like I wear gloves, of course, but sometimes when I am cold, it does help to just wash some dishes because you're getting in that hot water. And if you just look at something like you don't really mind it, like, then it doesn't have to be overwhelming. So, like, I don't want to have negative thoughts about, like, anything that kind of represents having a family. I don't want to get mad about that. Like, I do have a big laundry pile, but, like, so what? I mean, what's it matter? I have a pile of clean clothes in my living room on my couch, and my kids go there, and sometimes we fold it, and sometimes it just sits there clean, and they pick their favorite stuff out of it. I mean, so what? Like, I just don't, I guess I don't know. I just don't think some things are just so important. Like, I'll tell you what's important: self-care. And I learned something else really important too. Um, you got to set the standard for how you want to be treated and not give people a discount. Yep. Put yourself in a whole nother standard. For example, I'm finna get my nails did tomorrow. Been asking that motherfucker to take me to get my nails done for 2 fucking years now. You know what? Fuck you. Literally, fuck you. You don't think I deserve to be pampered and treated like a freaking girl? Well, I'm about to show you. And it's not even about showing someone, it's about enjoying being taken care of and, feeling good. And, like, if I want to live my life feeling good, then I'm going to do the things that make me feel good. And if somebody wants to fight me about wanting to do the things that make me feel good, then I guess they just should not be around me. So, like, if you have a problem with the hours I keep, or when I sleep, or what time I get dressed, or that I want to get my nails done, or I want to sit in a fucking tub because I love to sit in a tub because it feels good. If you have a problem with me enjoying my life, well, then you're just not going to be around me. So that's how that goes. Mm-hmm. They don't call it Sassy Rockstar 3 for nothing, boo. Anyway, there's a science behind all of that. There's a science behind it. Doing things that make you enjoy yourself and enjoy life put you in a higher vibrational space. It helps you feel good so that you can align with what it is you're trying to bring into your life. Okay? So take care of yourself. Do things for you. I had put that off for years and years and years. I had to because I was a single mom. So I had to take care of them, and then I still would like do a little bit of stuff for myself, like, you know, I'd get makeup, but it would be like, Wet and Wild or something, which is, by the way, an awesome brand. If you're on a budget, like, they're awesome. They're vegan, no shit talking at all, of course, but paying that 99 cents for a new lipstick to wear, that's what you do when you're a single mom who puts her kids first. You have to kind of settle for maybe not the most luxurious items, but it's still very important to take the time to do something nice for yourself, because I think people have a really fucked up assumption that when you're a mom, that's all you're allowed to be. And I think my marriage and relationship is basically ruined because I cannot shake the whole mom image or something, or he doesn't see me as anything but a mom. And I think that, like, there's been so many, like, I don't know, having a kid with somebody really makes you look at them differently. And it almost, like, in my case, I don't know. I don't know how it describes. They either disappoint the fuck out of you by the kind of dad they are, I guess, or something dies in you for them. I'm not sure. I think guys, like, I mean it from a guy's perspective. So I don't know. But it's like, why do you stop treating me like a girl, or like I'm important just because I'm a mom, or whatever? Like, no, that's not okay. It's not freaking okay. And then I don't know, it's like, don't expect somebody to be a goddess when you can't treat them like one. I deserve nice things, and I deserve to feel good, and I deserve to be happy. And that is it. And it's a good chance that if your wife is telling you, hey, you need to wake up with your son on the mornings that you're home because I really need some sleep, then maybe you should just do that, because maybe she just needs some sleep. And I like to tell my kids all the time, well, actually, I haven't. I like to tell them, beauty sleep doesn't just mean outer beauty, it means inner beauty too, because it's really hard to be the pleasant, sweet, happy mom when you are so drained from living off of 3 hours of sleep for 2 years straight. And if somebody would have just been stepped up as a man and said, hey babe, why don't you get some sleep, I'll watch the baby, like, why couldn't he do that? And then the worst part was I'd have to, like, ask him and fight him and try to get him to do it, that it exhausted me to even argue with someone. Like, I don't understand why you don't think that you should ever have to wake up with your kid, like, literally ever. I don't understand. Like, I don't know why would he think that? And it's what I was asking for. I'm like, you get Saturdays and Sundays off of work. If you wake up for 6 o'clock for work, why can't you wake up at like 7 or 8 with your baby? Like, you're still getting to sleep in compared to how early you wake up from work, right? And I like need to catch up on a few hours, like, and then I don't know, like when I did finally get him to start agreeing to that for like every other week or every third week he would do it. And then I would come down at maybe like never after 10. I would always come down at least before 10, and he'd be like, "Oh, so you finally crawled out of bed." And it's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, who says that to somebody? Like, you're just so fucked up. And I'm just so sad. I'm not even sad. I'm just like, wow, I really wasted so much time with a person who treats me like that. And like, I kind of just start realizing things like, you know what? That's not my fault. That's not my fault that you're going to be mean to me. Like, I take such good care of our baby. I really do. I mean, I got to stand up for myself on that one. I have been an amazing mother to him. I was abandoned twice and it shattered me to pieces. Literal pieces. When he abandoned me when he found out I was pregnant, and then he abandoned me when the baby was a month old. Both times for like 8 months, 9 months at a time. So not only was I carrying the child alone and scared, and that's one of my major wounds that I definitely need to heal. I was also a single mother in the dead of winter with a newborn when he left. And not only a newborn, but 2 toddlers and 3 kids. That was a hardship that no good man would have ever put a woman in. Even if he felt like he couldn't stand to be in the house or the relationship, my God, why couldn't you just bring us some groceries? Like, he wouldn't even bring groceries. Didn't care that it was like literally the dead of winter, so freezing that I should take this 1 month newborn baby out with all these kids and try to get shopping done when I haven't even recovered. Like, I mean, 4 weeks after giving birth to this 9-pound angel baby that just breastfed 24 hours a day. I mean, he has really been seriously neglectful and abusive. And I think it's all coming back to me now. And I need to just feel it to heal it. And I don't ever want to attract someone who will be that downright uncaring for me or my kids. And there were so many red flags. The very first red flag was when I wanted to go see my favorite movie series, Twilight. I think it was like the one. And anyways, we went, we took our selfie before we went in, he put his arm around me, whatever. Like, we went in, we sat down. He had bought himself a popcorn, didn't ask if I wanted anything. I didn't want anything, so I didn't care. Went in and just sat there and ate his popcorn, and like never once even like was like, "Hey, you want some popcorn?" And for some reason, I equated my situation at the time with like so much with Twilight. I'm like, I just resonate so much with Twilight's story. It's crazy. Like, he was my Edward that I wanted so much. And then, like, I had this nice guy who I wasn't attracted to, and he was like just mellow and just always there for me, But this was my fantasy, Edward, and, this whole thing. This was like, oh, this is so romantic. I thought it was so romantic. And it was parts of it, but I actually had a chance to watch that movie a couple nights ago because I've now been getting breaks from my son because he's had to take him for visitation, which I don't like. I would rather have my son home and just be able to hang out in my own house with him able to entertain his son in our living room or something. Like, but he feels the need, whatever. This is how it is now. This is how it is, whatever. Anyway, I finally got a chance to rewatch that movie, and I remember what I loved about it. And then I was able this time to actually pick out certain things and say, wow, he's abusive. He's neglectful. He's an asshole. At times, he really is. He's not like this hero, amazing guy. Like, yeah, he looks hot and they, all that stuff, but when she found out she was pregnant, like, he didn't think about how she felt. I knew how she felt. I know exactly how she felt. And he didn't, like, come up behind her and try to comfort her. He just got all pissed and fucking ran out. And she's sitting there left scared, confused, alone, and pregnant. I know how that feels. That's not a good feeling at all. And that's another wound that I'm going to have to clear out. Other instances, she wanted him to make love to her on their honeymoon. I mean, she was asking for it. She wanted to feel it. You know what? Why are you going to deny your woman sex? Like, my weirdo would do that too. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why don't you just want to fuck your hot wife? Like, what is your deal? Like, look up misogyny. That's something misogynists do. They only want it when they know you don't want it. When you're like, not even feeling good and you just have a day, which you're allowed to have. Like, you don't owe men fucking sex or anything else. When you are having a cuddle day and you just want to, like, relax, but then when you actually, then he, like, it just, they want to give it to you when you clearly don't want it, but then when you actually do want it and need it and just want to have it because you want to enjoy it, then they, like, withhold from you and don't give it to you, and then try to make you feel like you're not pretty enough, you're not woman enough, you're not good enough, Fuck that abuse and that mind fuck. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Fuck him, like, taking my son now. Like, I asked him all the time when we were together. I'm like, hey, it'd be really cool if you could, come home a little early from work and we could go pick up our son together from school. That never happened. Oh, I can't just leave work like that. Oh, I gotta get my hours in. Like, when we first split up, he's, like, volunteering. He's like, you know what, I'll come get him from school. Yeah, I'll come get him from school. Says, he's gonna have so much fun that my son's never gonna want to come home to be with me. And I cannot believe that, because me and my son, we are bonded. So I just refuse to believe that. Fuck that. I only wanted to be spent time with. I'm like, dude, you don't even see the only thing that your wife even wants from you is to spend time together, do nice things together. Like, you won't go have a picnic with me? You won't go watch our kids play on a playground and eat picnic lunch in the shade with me on a pleasant, mild Saturday evening? Like, at 5 o'clock or something? Like, oh, no, I gotta, get ready, or I've had a long day or something. Like, such serious neglect. Financial neglect too, but mostly I think the hardest thing was the emotional and physical neglect of just, him just not wanting to do things with me. I just like don't understand that. Like, I'm not cute enough? You don't want to walk with me? Like, we can't be a little family together? But now that you're gone, now you want to come pick up your kid all the time? Like, maybe I wouldn't have been so upset if you ever would have done something nice with me. And now here he is doing it. I asked him to get a cell phone for 2 years so that we could text back and forth or whatever, and he wouldn't get one. And then the day I kicked him out of the house, he got a phone. And I was like, well, what the hell do you have that now? And he's like, well, I have to text you now. I don't live with you. Like, enough about this stupid, fucked up relationship. You know what? It doesn't matter. I can't control people. You can't control people. I can just control myself. And so what I've been doing is, bringing this stuff up. And now that I've brought it up, it's there. I can clear it out for good. Just be done. Because those feelings, abandonment, shame, worthlessness, they hurt pretty bad, and they cause a lot of internal scars. And in order to be able to be fully light and love, you got to clear those out. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what's happening. Well, thanks for watching my video. I don't even know what it's about anymore. I don't even know what I was going to title it. I think I would just say like full moon. Full moon in Gemini. As seen through my eyes. I got my full moon magic candle. There's a lot of self-healing going to be going on up in here, guys. That's for sure. Shit's been getting real weird lately with fucking people, too. So, I'm staying kind of out of the loop right now. I almost thought about deleting Facebook, but then I was like, nobody really looks at my shit anyways, so it don't really matter. But, alright, bye.